So Newsom is fed up with tent cities, the crime, the urban decay? No, he's not mad about that stuff. He's mad you noticed. It's like a criminal telling a jury he's sorry he robbed 25 banks when he's just sorry he got caught on the 26th. Because this isn't some spontaneous crisis. It's a man-made disaster like Chernobyl or Fox and Friends. And
California Governor Gavin Newsom now says homeless encampments are unacceptable, which is strange because his policies helped create this situation. Under his leadership, sidewalks became open zones for drug use, theft, and public disorder. This week, he told cities to clear camps from public spaces. So after years of ignoring the problem, he suddenly wants to fix it. That is like locking the door after the horse has already left the barn.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors. On Monday, he urged cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse.
So Newsom is angry now. But is he angry about crime and decay? No, he is angry that people are finally paying attention. Imagine someone who breaks rules for years, then acts shocked when caught. That is exactly what is happening here. This was not a sudden disaster. It was a slow, avoidable collapse caused by bad decisions.
Took common sense as his high ground.
Right.
There's no place outside of it.
That's right.
And so they're stuck in this horrible, horrible place, much like you, Jamie, and your life. As California falls apart, it must remind you somewhat of your own personal life.
Yeah. Sometimes I look at footage of California and I go, oh, look how much better it is than my life.
They abandoned common sense long ago. Now they have nowhere left to stand. So they remain trapped in a terrible situation. Much like you, Jamie, and your daily struggles. Watching California fall apart must feel familiar to you. Yeah, sometimes I see news from California and think, at least my life is not that bad.
Why do I keep bringing up Gavin? Well, other than my respect for his work in American Psycho, he's starting to distance himself from his party's worst ideas. Newsom, a guy who hates fossil fuels but could still bring down the price of gas by wringing out his hair, once proclaimed that his state would be a sanctuary to all who seek it. Then people actually came.
Why do I keep talking about Gavin Newsom? Not just because he is a famous figure, but because he is slowly stepping away from his party's worst failures. Newsom once mocked fossil fuels, yet his own lifestyle consumes massive energy. He bragged that California would welcome everyone. Then millions actually showed up, and the state was not ready.
You conflate order with authoritarianism, you get chaos and destruction. So if restoring order is evil, then the Dems are now the party of disorder. Turns out the only system they had was wokeism, and it rotted any basic principles the party had to begin with. Which is why, like Gavin himself, they're left looking at 2028's hopes going up in flames. And this time, no one is going to help them put it out.
When you confuse basic order with oppression, you end up with chaos. So if maintaining order is wrong, then the left has become the party of disorder. It turns out their only guiding idea was symbolic politics. That weak foundation destroyed whatever good principles they once had. That is why, like Newsom himself, their future hopes are burning. And this time, nobody will rescue them.
He shows up at the fires and says, who the hell caused this? I'm going to crack down on the people responsible. He sees the homeless encampments blocking the sidewalks and said, you guys clean that up. He started it. He spent $3 billion to fix it. And his opening words in 2020 when it got the job is, it's a disgrace. The richest state in the country and the richest nation of the world has a homeless problem. I will fix it. He spends $1 billion. When it's not fixed, he blames the mayors. And he also forced the movie industry and Silicon Valley out of the best state in the country by high taxes. I've never seen someone with such a bad performance, but yet I think he's the front runner to get the nomination for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They got nobody else. Sherrod, welcome back.
Thank
The real problem is his record as mayor, lieutenant governor, and governor. You have your analogies. Let me give you mine. Watch what he does. He stands at a fire and asks who started it. He sees tents on sidewalks and tells local leaders to clean up. But he created the rules that allowed this. He spent billions promising to fix homelessness. In 2020, he called the situation a disgrace. He promised to solve it. After spending massive amounts, nothing changed. Then he blamed city mayors. On top of that, high taxes pushed Hollywood and tech companies to leave one of the best states in America. I have rarely seen such poor leadership. Yet somehow, he may still win his party's nomination for president. Yeah, it is true. They have no one else to turn to. Welcome back.
So last week, Newsom said he hopes the conservative Supreme Court will overturn the current law that bans his state from removing out-of-control homeless encampments. Imagine that. Well, what did you expect, Gavin? That the sanctuary seekers were going to show up in Winnebagos? Once again, another example of a high-profile lib using his big mouth to write a check his ass can't cash. Last year, after the Texas Governor Abbott ordered that parents of transitioning children should face criminal investigation, Newsom then tweeted this: "Trans kids and their families should be celebrated, not targeted by the state. They are heroes." And so to fearful families in Texas right now, California's door is always open to you.
Last week, Newsom asked the conservative Supreme Court to remove a law that stops his state from clearing homeless camps. Think about that. What did he expect? That people would arrive in luxury RVs? This is another case of a famous politician making promises he cannot keep. Last year, when Texas took strict measures against parents supporting gender transitions for minors, Newsom posted online that California would welcome those families. He called them heroes. He said California's door is wide open.
What do you think about Gavin Newsom? What's going on there?
I don't know. I don't know how they bump out Kamala out of VIP, put a white male in there and take her out. She's got too much of an ego to just step aside. She's going to go crazy if they try to do that.
Plus, she had a strong 2% support, so don't forget that.
Yeah, but she's waiting for that spot to just open for her, and then you put a white male in there.
Yeah.
There's no. I don't know how they're going to. I mean, they did it to Bernie. They threw him under the bus two, presidential ones in a row. They just gave him a couple extra houses in Vermont. Go, yeah, you got some extra money. But I don't know how they could do it with her.
Yeah, it'd be great if they threw her under the bus because she really likes buses. Remember?
What is your take on Gavin Newsom? I am not sure how they push Kamala aside and bring in a white male candidate. She has too much pride to step down quietly. She will react badly if that happens. Besides, she had only 2% support. Do not forget that. Yeah, but she is waiting for that position to open for her. Then they replace her with a white male. Yeah, I do not know how they will manage that. They did it to Bernie twice in a row. They gave him a few extra things in Vermont. Sure, he got some benefits, but I do not see them doing that to her. Yeah, it would be great if they pushed her out, because she actually enjoys buses. Remember that.
We lost. We lost the popular vote, and we lost the electoral vote. We got crushed. And we need to be humble about that, and we need to have some grace, and we need to understand why. Was it because of the incumbency penalty? Was it because of inflation? Was it because of interest rates? Was it because of immigration? Was it because we were too, quote unquote, woke? Was it because of issues with Israel? Was it all of the above? I think we are going through that forensic. We need to understand it. At the same time, we also have to push back against the whitewash.
Californians once sold maps to celebrity homes, not danger zones. Now tourists avoid stepping in hazardous waste instead of sightseeing. When locals complain, they are called heartless. And now we are expected to trust Newsom. Absolutely not. Every problem of the past 10 years came from his and his party's false promises.
Voters. He's the classic wolf in sheep's hair gel. Just watch him answer the tough questions.
Any other questions here?
Yes, Governor. California has a terrible homeless problem. Why do you think that is?
I appreciate that question. And I think it's a matter of perspective. Let's kind of flip the script on that, okay? Let's kind of put a new lens on that. I mean, you see a homeless man. I see an outdoorsman. We got a lot of natural habitat in this state, and I'm just so proud that so many people in California can take advantage of that. All right, next question.
Then national polls showed clear results. Most Americans do not support gender transitions for minors. So last week, when a California law was proposed to favor parents who support a child's new gender identity in custody cases, Newsom rejected that law immediately. Yeah, you heard that right. The left was angry, but they missed the point. Newsom said he vetoed it simply because similar rules already exist. Evan asks why Democrats lost. We lost the popular vote. We lost the electoral vote. We were defeated badly. We need humility and understanding. Was it because of inflation, interest rates, immigration? Were we too focused on cultural issues? Was it about foreign policy? Or all of the above? We are still investigating. At the same time, we must fight against the strong opposition coming from the Trump administration. It is a classic wolf in polished clothing. Watch how he dodges hard questions. Any other questions? Yes, Governor. California has a serious homeless crisis. Why? I appreciate that question. Let me reframe it. Put on a different lens. You see a homeless person. I see someone enjoying nature. This state has beautiful open spaces. I am proud that so many Californians can experience that. Next question. He described a man who performs for the camera, lectures entire states with a raised finger, and builds a national reputation through rehearsed anger and carefully planned outrage. Gavin Newsom, the human billboard of image over reality, was fully exposed. Behind the perfect hair and smooth talk, Gutfeld showed the uncomfortable truth. A polished mannequin with nice phrases, but no real strength when challenges arrive. He mocked Newsom's hidden ambitions, the open secret that this California leader wants the White House. The idea that a governor whose state is struggling could stand on a national stage and sell the same failed ideas to everyone else was deeply funny. And Gutfeld exposed every part of it accurately. But what hurt most was that the jokes were not cruel. They were honest. Simple, sharp exposure. The kind of truth that stings because you cannot deny it. Every punch, every facial expression, every well-timed pause carried the same painful fact. This was never leadership. It was advertising, and that advertising was falling apart under real-world results, breaking down live on television. Gutfeld did not need to scream. He did not need drama. He just let reality do the damage. Yes, Greg Gutfeld took apart Gavin Newsom, not with dirty insults or blind anger, but with something much more dangerous to a politician who loves his own image. He used truth wrapped in irony, delivered with the calm confidence that facts do not need loud voices. They just need to be said. In a world built on spin and short clips, that kind of honesty does not just land. It explodes. That night was not just a win. It was total destruction. A speeding train of reality crashing through Newsom's carefully built false image. And somewhere in California, Gavin Newsom is still trying to understand what hit him. Spoiler alert, it was not politics. It was not party loyalty. It was reality. And Greg Gutfeld,